You're telling me this is a powder to set your makeup? Okay, so this is a finishing powder, but do you see the liquid in there? What is this sorcery? This is the new Beauty Hydro Blast finishing powder. So it does specifically say it's a finishing powder, so I'm going to set my face with a powder and then finish it with this. Not suitable for baking under the eye, as water active will darken concealer to a shade deep. It's supposed to give a skin blurring and soft focus effect, gives a cooling sensation, minimizes the appearance of fine lines and imperfections. Rare Beauty setting powder. Now let's try out the Hydro Blast powder. It does have a seal on it. So you're telling me this is a powder? I mean, it looks like a normal powder. Get a big fluffy brush. Just go in. Oh, that's weird. This brush feels wet. Feels like I literally took this brush and dipped it in water. I'm just patting it all over my face. Two brands that did something very similar to this are the Becca RIP powder. Refi Beauty has a very similar powder, but both don't feel as wet as this one. Leaves my skin with a beautiful glow, and to the touch, it feels like a soft matte. How wet that powder is did take away kind of my bronzer and my blush, so I'm gonna bring that back with powder bronzer and powder blush and see how that plays. That water active or whatever in that formula is making all the powders I put on top of it more pigmented, because this is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. It never looks this pigmented on me. For blush, I'm doing something a little bit less pigmented too, just so I can see. The verdict is yes, this blush never looks this pigmented on my cheeks. And first impressions, I love this powder so much. My skin looks so stinking glowy, but it is so matte to the touch, which is amazing music to my ears for my oily skin. Soft focus claim I think is so incredibly accurate. When I finish my makeup, we'll be right back with the wear test. Okay, I've actually been walking around the house for like 2 hours, but this is what it looks like. It is so extremely glowy, but it feels so matte, which is super, super exciting, especially because I love looking glowy, but being a greasy girl, it's a struggle sometimes. Soft blur is coming through, so we're gonna give it a couple hours and I'll come back later tonight. Okay, so I've had this on for about 8 hours now. It was a more rainy and overcast day today, so not super indicative of like sweating or anything like that, but in terms of the finish on my skin, I'm extremely oily, and powders like this typically get super glowy and greasy. It looks so glowy and stunning, but it's matte to the touch. It's matte to the touch. This is a bold claim, and I probably have to test it out more, but I genuinely think this is going to be an amazing powder for all skin types. If you're dry, this doesn't give you any chalky finish. It doesn't cling onto any dryness. It doesn't emphasize fine lines. If you're oily, it looks glowy, but it doesn't feel glowy, doesn't feel dewy and wet. Perfect amount of hydration you can put in a powder that it can work for any skin type. And I know that's a bold claim. I need to try it out some more, but for now, I am beyond impressed. I'm actually super taken aback. I thought I was gonna hate this. I will update at the end of the month, but for now, I am beyond, I'm stunned. I am shook. This is incredible.